Hello YouTube. This is the second Kermit the Critic review that I'm going to do. Now this one I've decided to do on The Amazing Spider-Man. It's hard to make a fanboy cry. That film should have been awesome. And it just wasn't. It was a huge blunder. It was for marketing schemes. It was Sony being assholes. That's all it was. Now this film did have good points. Overall though, I was incredibly disappointed. Mostly because there was so much hype about it. There was redefining the origin story, which I was fine with. But it also felt like they were just copying it. When I actually saw it, the shots were pretty similar. Also, if you're gonna do a film about Peter Parker, make sure he looks like a nerd, to start with. Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker didn't look nerdy. He looked like a hipster. That's wrong. I mean, he had a skateboard. Peter Parker doesn't have a skateboard. He was athletic and he looked cool, and the glasses were there sort of ironically, and that was wrong. The whole point is, it was a massive transaction from the incompetent Peter Parker to the hero of New York. Also, the trailer itself was incredibly misleading. When Kurt Connors said, "You think what happened to you was an accident," in the trailer, I didn't see that in the film. There was none of that. So it was implying there was a whole different story that the trailer was telling that the film just didn't. I didn't find any of it believable. I found the pacing a wee bit off. They spent too much time doing the boring lovey-dovey scenes and not enough on the character development. I do like the fact that they did his original love, Gwen Stacy. I thought the actual acting was pretty good. I liked Aunt May and Uncle Ben. I liked the people who played them. I thought they did a very good job. I just thought it was a bad way of doing a Spider-Man film. I thought it could have been a good film if it hadn't already been done and people weren't already sick of it. But maybe that's just me. A lot of people love that film. I also thought the villain, he was just a villain. It was too cliche. They didn't make it original. And I know that's kind of because it's in the comics that it was an experiment gone wrong sort of thing. But try and be original. And it just didn't feel believable that a guy could turn into a massive lizard. It didn't... The transformation wasn't believable in my opinion. It's the ending though. The ending annoyed me so much. It's the typical American thing of never letting someone be sad at the end of a film and giving you false hope of happiness, and that annoys me with a lot of different films. And the ending in this one, where Peter Parker says, "I'm sorry I'm late, it won't happen again," it was something like that, and the teacher went, "Don't make promises you can't keep," and Peter Parker goes, "Those are the best kind," implying that he was going to date Gwen Stacy despite what he'd promised her father, pissed me off so much because I was happy that there was a sort of awkwardness between those characters now because he had made that choice to be Spider-Man and not Peter Parker anymore. And that pissed me off that they couldn't just let that relationship die. And they couldn't just let it move on. And Americans do that a lot. So, and it's British films I know are pretty shit, but at least we can end a film, and at least we have a competent way of doing a sad ending. Now there are a lot of endings like that. Dark Shadows, even The Dark Knight Rises had an element of that where they just couldn't let the character die. I'll review that later. But overall I love that film. I love superhero films. But yeah, this was the biggest blunder and the biggest disappointment I'd ever seen. So bad Sony, don't do that again. Leave your comments. Maybe you enjoyed the film, maybe you didn't, maybe you enjoyed what I didn't enjoy. Please let me know. Email me even. On my work email, not my actual home email, because that's stalkerish. I'll leave the links in the description for my Facebook page and my email. The competition is still open for you to send me an intro or an outro, because this is just crap. The whole salute thing. It's overdone. But in the meantime, goodbye.